This is a Headgum podcast.
Hello, you're talking to a real expert in the field, on the ground, keeping an eye on things,
Trying substances.
trying ways to exist comfortably in this body, which I've been permanently afflicted with.
Not
but
permanently.
I'm learning to love and accept. Depends on your definition of permanence. We'll get back to that on the podcast.
Yes.
So you've probably heard of microdosing. I've done it. Maybe you've done it. Figuring out ways to be a little more productive in your life. Figuring out ways to hopefully integrate your inner child. Figuring out ways to deal with all the stuff that goes on up here. Trying to not stress myself out by imbibing in things that are not actually good for me. So I have taken to microdosing at very, very small levels, very, 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 very small, almost subperceptual levels, with microdose gummies. They deliver perfect entry-level doses of THC. And yeah, here's what I'll say about it. If I know, and I truly, this is what I do, I will take a Lumi Labs gummy, I will bite it in half.
You're microdosing the microdose.
I'm ultimate microdose maxing,
Yeah.
or whatever the opposite of maxing is. I'll bite
Minning.
one in half and I will go about my day. Sometimes I actually do genuinely feel creatively inspired. And so I'm very grateful for Lumi Labs and Microdose Gummies for continuing to send me these gummies, which I share with my family and friends and myself. They can be helpful for focus and your mood. They can also, if you take a whole one, they can be a little helpful for sleep. So you just figure out the way that works best for you. Don't worry, they're not going to scare you. They're not going to make you think about all your stuff in your past and that you regret. It's not like that. Get 30% off your first order plus free shipping today at microdose.com, promo code Gayotic. It's available nationwide, folks. Yes, you live in a free country. That's microdose.com, promo code Gayotic for 30% off and free shipping.
Should we do a cappella right now?
You know what?
I'm going to look it up.
I learned that song the same day as it came out, and I recorded a YouTube video of me.
Adele?
Someone like you.
That's cute.
By the way, it's you're having a finger on the pulse
Yeah.
And I was like,
of culture.
You're
You
like,
knew
this is
culture
gonna
was
hit.
going to change.
This is gonna go.
this is gonna go.
Yeah.
They didn't really need me to do a cover of it, though. You know what I mean?
But they
Who
needed
is
a lot
they?
of people,
Some
and
they
you signed
maybe-
up.
Yeah.
Well, we've
Adele-
talked about this. Adele
Adele
I
does
love
something
Adele so
negative
much.
to the culture.
Well, she encouraged white girls
Yes.
to sing in a certain way
Yes.
that
Yeah.
they really shouldn't be singing.
Right.
I would
Adele
say
can sing that way.
Right.
there are two white British women,
Amy
Uh-huh.
Winehouse.
Amy
Yeah.
and Adele.
Two people who are unbelievable, but they ruined
They are-
something for other white girls.
Right.
They
By the way, I see you, my sister.
Yeah. Well, you did it. I said, let's fucking send it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's time. Yeah.
You're the first guest to ever
Really?
To de-shoe.
to ever
Really?
mirror me with this.
You know what? We do it on our podcast every episode. Like our
Really?
shoes.
I like it.
Yeah, it's immediate. Sometimes we start recording. It's the first thing we do is we're like, sorry, we're shoes off. That's like how the episode
We're
starts.
shoes off home.
Yeah, exactly.
Shoes off.
Are
then,
you shoes off
pod.
home?
Yeah, and I actually has this thing of like, do you know when someone comes to your house and you have to pretend to be kind of like neutral
with it?
about
Yeah.
whether or not they take their shoes off, and you're like,
Sucks.
take them off, I guess. Like, why don't you just take those shoes off?
But you're being cool about
Yeah,
it.
Like whatever you want, but you should want to take them
We
off.
could be
feel like
so
it's
wild and
impossible,
take our
though.
shoes off.
Yeah.
I feel like no one actually wants to do that.
You want to take their shoes off?
No, not at someone's house.
I'm so
No,
shocked.
no, definitely not.
I like
Unless
People
you're
don't.
chilling.
You do,
I'm
but
I
trained.
clearly want
I'm
mine
trained.
off at
Well,
all
it
times.
depends.
Yeah.
If I'm going to someone's house and I'm immediately going outside,
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well,
if I'm
no.
there,
that presents an issue.
if I'm gonna be chilling there, I want shoes off.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
But if I'm stopping, we're getting your water bottle.
and then we're leaving.
You're showing
Right.
me your new trinket in your bedroom. Like,
Right.
come on.
Yeah.
Let me keep my shoes on.
I'm
for
pretty
that.
shoes off.
I'm
I
shoes off for sure, but how do you fucking enforce that shit?
No, you
I think
can't.
it's a culture
you can't.
thing.
You can't.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm actually not. I just feel like I don't know what that is indicative of, but I don't care if people wear shoes in my house.
I really kind of
Yeah.
do care.
I care, but it's impossible to enforce.
Is it because you're
Yeah.
like, I don't want to have to clean up more later?
I don't like getting
that
my
the
socks
vibe?
Yeah.
dirty. I like being in my socks in the house.
Oh.
And then your socks are just as dirty as shoes.
I want to be
at that point.
completely
Right.
barefoot in my house.
Yeah,
I
but
want
like you just
naked foot.
Right.
vacuum. Like you just
Yeah, I
Yeah.
vacuum all the time.
I did kind of lighten up about it.
you
Recently, I was
have
like,
to.
wait, let me just have people have shoes. I also
You
used to
have
be like
to.
so strict about like no street clothes in bed.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
wait,
that's
no
the type
what?
of person.
No street
No,
clothes in bed.
By the
Oh,
way,
my-
I'm with you 100%
My
on
girlfriend,
that.
my
No.
girlfriend,
Yeah.
if after we take a flight, if I'm anywhere close to
Yeah,
a bed, well,
Yeah.
actually, in either way,
Right.
she's like, take them off.
Yeah.
Shower.
that's cool.
You're disgusting.
yeah, yeah.
Nothing.
Flight. Yeah.
Flight is
Burn
Flight,
them.
flight,
Burn.
even
Yeah.
street.
Even street. But I actually
Yeah.
kind of not, and I'm glad this isn't recording.
We're totally recording.
We are.
We're in.
Stop.
We didn't
Oh
even
my
introduce.
God.
We didn't even
I didn't
introduce
even
you.
put on my demeanor yet. I had no idea. I was like, this is
you
like,
on
I was
demeanor.
like, this is yeah. I'm not even doing it. I'm totally embarrassed about everything I said. Just kidding. It's been normal. Okay, but I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, keep
This is
going,
when- It's
please.
like I reached a point where I was like, if I'm hooking up with people, like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, you can't.
say get those dirty clothes
Right, because
off.
I'm not like trying to be sexual. I'm
You
like,
have to
oh,
get
why don't you take
naked."
your jeans and shirt off now, like before we get into
Did you
bed?
bring house jeans? Yeah.
Let me put
Could
you
you-
into these.
Could you strategically you only you do all foreplay on the couch?
All foreplay on the
but
couch.
the couch
Nude.
is bed.
I have a roommate, so no.
You have one roommate.
One roommate.
And
All
you,
foreplay
last week-
standing.
Last we
Mhm.
chatted,
Yeah,
if I
that's right.
recall correctly,
Yeah,
there's cats in the home.
there's 2 cats in the home.
And
Are they yours?
Wow, congrats.
They are mine. I actually split custody of them with my brother, who
Oh.
used to live in the house.
Yeah.
So the cats are mine for the summer, and then they're going. My brother and I have divorced parents, and we split
Okay.
time. And
Yeah.
the cat,
Yeah.
we
With the
enacted that
cats.
on the cats as well.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
yeah.
like that's kind of hard to do with cats because
They don't like it. Like
Yeah.
they're seriously like they want to be in one place, and every time they move, they're like, "What the fuck?" They're actually like scared for a week.
This is the last time.
I know, like
They hate
they
movement.
hide
Yeah.
under the bed.
Yeah.
Like it's actually really bad. But
Uh-huh.
I used to be so sensitive to like their needs.
And now no longer.
No, I know what you mean. You have to
You
just
have
be like,
to.
ultimately, I'm
Yeah.
a human,
Right.
and
And
you are a
my
cat.
animals.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my
plagues
god, they're
me.
scared. I was like, you know what? Sometimes I'm scared.
Yeah.
like,
And we're
so
gonna
yeah,
survive.
like you're not exempt from that. Like, welcome to
it's
the
okay.
world, honey. Like,
Wait, I have to say something. I have to confess something.
What that you
Uh-huh.
have a kitten?
Well, first of all, I got a kitten
oh my god,
yesterday.
oh my god,
she
yesterday.
had it.
Yeah.
She has
She
a
has
cat,
one.
and
Okay. I
she
have a
finally got a
cat.
kitten for the
Say
cat.
the backstory.
You should take him to the vet soon. The
Yeah, I made an appointment this morning.
kitten. All right.
Okay.
Because Button might need to go on medicine.
You are passing every test.
that
but
we are laying
you're
out
not-
for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Button might need to go on medicine.
can't
Well,
believe
he
we're
could have
recording.
like worms or something
This
in
is what-
there.
this is what it is, girly.
This is a bad podcast.
Yeah.
No. It's been great. I just like I didn't know. Like
This
I'm
is,
totally
bad.
in
This
shock.
is, this is called
We tricked
shock.
you?
Shock. It's recording.
And we're not
Totally.
going to apologize
No.
Shock
because we're
record.
on
Shock
air.
record. He could have
And
like
we're live streaming.
he
as
could
well.
pass like
Okay.
worms or something like that.
Oh, Button could pass worms.
No, the opposite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Not to scare you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on top of it all, and it's
Uh-huh.
gonna be fine. But also, if I don't stay on top
It's
of it
okay.
all,
You're
I
okay.
also
Yeah.
think
Mhm.
it
It's gonna
is
be
what
fine.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
But
And if-
I left them. So
Mhm.
we've had like we had like 24 hours with
Mhm.
them together.
Oh, I'm
And-
scared.
Did you separate rooms at first, or like
Separate rooms at first.
Okay.
And then went to bed with like the kitten in my bedroom, and
Mhm.
Button had the rest of the house.
Screaming.
And then he was like kind of screaming at like 5:30 in the morning. So
Mhm.
we opened the door, and like they had their first like
Mhm.
sniffing butthole interaction.
Mhm.
But
Did,
Um,
did they hiss?
Yeah, Button was hissing, but then he would go.
Nice.
He goes like, and then he goes.
also
Oh,
hissing
yeah.
can
Really-
be
it's really
hissing
cute.
doesn't actually like
Mhm.
hissing in that circumstance. Me, a cat expert.
Right,
hissing
literally,
in
I'm
that
like, couldn't be more
circumstance,
seated. I'm like-
could also just be an overwhelmed response.
Cat doctor
He-
glasses.
As
Yeah, I'm realizing-
opposed to aggression.
Yeah.
It's like it can be an impulse thing.
I
for them.
thought he was a really brave cat, but I'm realizing that he's super cautious.
Yeah, yeah.
This
yeah.
kitten is
Brave.
dumb.
Oh,
this
totally.
kitten
Yeah.
is like,
well, kittens are suicidal.
Yeah, they
he's
basically
like,
are.
let's go.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
really curious. He's initiating the contact with Button.
That's
Anyway,
Cute.
they've
Button
been
will probably just
good.
correct him.
They were
Mhm,
like
yeah.
just out together this morning for like hours when I was home. So when I left today, I just said, "Don't kill each other.
Uh-huh.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I think
me, totally afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I'm
thinking.
nervous for them.
Yeah,
I was really thinking. I know that because Joe and her girlfriend have 2 new kittens,
And we have 2 dogs.
It's a lot. It's kitten time.
But they're fine.
Bro.
Yeah, I know.
But
Cool.
but they're super like. I think you put your animal's needs before yourself.
At times. I just had a kitten die when I was a kid, and I'm traumatized.
You know, and I forgot about that, and I'm having a really
Negative
strong-
experience.
Well, no, I mean that makes a lot of sense, and I'm sorry that happened.
No, it's okay. I just am. When the first week we got the kittens, I kept saying to Kelly, like, don't get too close to the kittens. They might die.
Oh my God.
What happened with your kitten?
My cat had kitty AIDS, like, you know,
Yeah.
and
They just don't all
she-
make it.
yeah,
and they just don't all make it.
Wait, I'm
so.
really like, it's so sweet to have a big cat and a little cat become friends, and it's so sweet to have a dog and a cat become friends.
Mhm.
It actually just like hits.
I need to
You
pause the
will not
podcast.
believe
Yeah.
Wait, okay.
how.
Oh my God.
Wait, and
they're
she
they're
cleans
like
him?
Blue, the dog is like
Wait.
mom.
Yeah,
to
that's
these
mama.
kittens
The
now.
cat's like
Wait,
Blue.
how long have you had them?
Like
a week,
A month?
a month,
Month?
maybe
Wait,
a
and they're
month.
I had
already
no
like
concept of
chilling?
time.
Like,
She cleans
even.
them
Oh
and
my God.
everything.
One of them
It's-
sleeps like in her tummy.
That you actually live in heaven.
I know.
You live
So-
in like
we live in
absolute
bed
heaven.
right now as a result.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Are your cats with you now? Or are they with your?
They're with me. They're
Yeah.
brothers. They
Yeah.
don't get
Are they
along.
actually brothers?
Yes.
They don't
Well,
get
Well, they were in the
along.
same litter. Presumably, they were found together.
Yeah.
And they look really different, and they don't get along. They don't really like each other. One of them
Fuck.
is so annoying.
Like what? Like
Yeah,
what?
sometimes
My
they
cat
are.
Sterling is just like he
Sterling,
is so
professional.
Do you love him
affectionate.
just as much, or do you love him?
No,
a
no, I
little
love him
less?
less.
Yeah,
He is like,
That's fine.
yeah, it's totally
I
okay.
think that's so normal, and I'm so proud
You're
of
like,
you
I'm
for
not
admitting
giving
that.
him away.
Right, like,
I'm just
but-
But I
loving
do
him
not
less.
care for him.
he's also the more popular one because he's so friendly. So
Yeah.
whenever anyone comes
Oh.
over, he's immediately like, I'm
so
sitting
he's a
in your
slut.
lap. Yeah, he's like a slut.
Yeah.
But it's like he does
It's
not.
giving narcissism. Like he's
Yeah.
good off bat.
NPD.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
But
no,
he's bad.
Exactly. I actually think he's kind of just stupid. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
he just doesn't. And everybody who meets him is like, so he's just a little dumb. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's always trying. I feel bad because he really loves his brother, Franklin.
Oh.
And this is the thing that happens. He just wants to love.
Franklin and Sterling,
Yeah.
so professional.
Fabulous
I know.
names. Have you
Thank
found
you.
that
It's
the
awesome.
hotter it gets in New York City, the more you get spoken to on the streets? Has that happened? I saw
I
That's
something
thought you were
last
gonna say the
night.
hotter you get, the
Right.
more
And
you.
Have you
yes,
found-
and yes. You
yes,
know what I mean?
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. The hotter you
Do
get,
you
in New York.
identify as someone who like got hot, or have you always been hot?
Oh, I think I'm in like the ongoing process of like hottening myself.
Yeah.
Hottening.
Yeah.
The hottening.
I'm like
The
undergoing
hottening.
a hottening.
Yeah.
I
That's
definitely did not
cool.
feel like I was hot. And it's like
The hottening.
sometimes like you know when you sometimes like if you see people talk about you like online or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Oh, maybe I don't want to say this,
Did
but
you
it's
name
too
search?
late.
Don't say it.
No.
Okay.
Someone once sent me something, but sometimes people have this valence of when they talk about me where they'll be like, "Hear me out."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm always like, "Oh, you don't have to say it like that." You know what I mean?
So, like people being like wanting to
They're
fuck
like,
you and
"There's
then being like,
something
hear me
slightly
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Sexy about this little freak.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, okay, I'm being fucking crazy, but I randomly want to have sex with this guy. And I'm like, totally, yeah, like, thank you.
So wild.
Thank you, and that
Negative or
hurts.
positive?
Yeah. Like,
Neutral?
I don't know how I feel. Well, you know what? Okay, this is another, I think I said this on my podcast, but one time I got a haircut from this guy, and then I posted a picture of myself like a week or two later, and he responded to it being like, I decided he's hot. And like I think he meant it to send the story to someone else.
Oh.
And I was like, thank you. Like I'm glad it turned out that way. Thank you. That's so sweet.
I'm glad you hadn't decided.
Yeah,
until
exactly. It's
now.
like, you know what? I
It's
think he's
been a
not
week.
actually hot. I'd be like, totally. Well, maybe I'll try again next time. No problem.
Hopefully I'll get. Have you gone back for another haircut?
No, not from him, actually.
certainly not.
After that. But you know what? No problem.
Wait,
and
can
ultimately,
you?
no problem.
I did about job listening. Who is this person again? Who
he
did it?
cut my hair.
He's the one who cut your hair. So you
right.
didn't hook up.
No.
Okay.
He
No.
meant to send it after having done the haircut because clearly Charlie was a topic
Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah.
discussion.
Yeah. Which,
Well,
by the way,
that's
it's like,
kind of-
let's keep him talking.
Yeah,
Guys,
let's
his
keep them
shape is really
talking.
the same today.
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean?
It's
Our
slight
hair.
Her
mullet.
hair. Totally.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Are you-
almost mullet.
Are you? Yeah, I'm tempted to grow this out a touch.
I've
And
done
I,
that.
and I
You
have
could
been.
be.
Yeah.
You could be full mullet.
I don't want to do
Cute.
full
Well, you don't have to be party, but you could be.
Bushwick mullet, but I do want
Yeah.
a little.
I know.
Little fun.
It's been fun when I've done it.
It's fun.
But then you reach a point where you're like, whoa,
Too
whoa,
long.
whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually
Too
this
much
haircut.
party.
My friend Sam Lanier, who's a comedian, straight guy, he
Cut your hair.
cut my hair, and
I
I was
love
like,
that.
have you ever cut hair before? Or I was talking about like wanting a haircut. He was like, yeah, I could probably do it. And I was like, have you ever cut hair before? He was like, yeah, one time. And I was like,
Totally.
yeah,
I mean,
let's
it
fucking
looks
do
good.
it. Like, what?
It looks good.
And it looks good.
Yeah,
He
it
did
does
it.
look
I
good.
just like something about his demeanor. I was like, you got this. Like,
Yeah.
I completely trusted him, and he did a
Wow.
great job.
Yeah.
You have the
He was like, he
you
cuts
have
his
the
own
instinct.
hair.
I almost said you have the witch's instinct.
Well, I wish you had said that, and I'm upset you didn't.
I'm upset that you didn't.
I do have the witch's instinct.
I
Thank you.
I wish that I could go back to like the homies
Cutting
cut,
your-
like
Mhm.
or
I
cutting
cut
on
my
the,
hair literally this morning.
You know what I was
Because
thinking?
I have my hair grows out in such weird ways where sometimes I'll have like a really long piece.
And you're just like,
I'll get a
let's get rid of
professional
it, yeah.
haircut and
I
then
can
I'll have
never do that.
really long pieces
Right.
that just like come out of nowhere. 'Cause
that's cool.
It's weird curl stuff. Like on the day that it was cut, this,
was
this
hiding.
one
No,
wasn't
the
doing
curl was
it.
totally,
hiding.
totally. It like can be in so many different ways.
Yeah, so I have to get in there.
Did you guys see the movie La Chimera?
No.
Okay,
Hey,
so this is
cinema
random of me
school.
to be talking
But
about.
the good thing is I know how to spell that, so I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, awesome. It's basically what's his name? The guy who's hot in the tennis movie.
Yeah,
Oh.
hot guy.
Oh,
Josh.
hot
Josh
guy.
O'Connor.
Yeah,
he's
rat,
in
rat.
it. Yeah, and at
He's
one
hot.
point he's kind of itinerant and he comes back and he's like trying to be with
Wait,
this girl.
I was thinking of the other guy. Is like
Mike Face.
Is everyone decided that like the Rat Man is hot?
Ratman is hot.
Ratman is.
To me, they're both hot.
They're
Cute.
both.
Yeah,
they're
to
both
me,
totally cute, but
it's the other one.
Ratman is
Has a sex
hot.
energy.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a more of a sex energy because Mike
The
Face
dark
is in the movie.
hair.
He's
The
like,
dark
"Ooh,
hair.
I don't know."
To be honest, they're
Yeah,
both kind of
he's
ratty.
He's
Yeah.
tentative. He's like
Wait,
tentative and
which
a bit.
one is Rat one?
The
Dark
one,
hair?
The one sex one.
Yeah.
The one
Dark
who's
hair is
dirty in
hotter.
his car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But they're both.
Although I do
they
think
both
that
Me
scene
on
with
my
Mike
fucking
Face
high horse. They're both so
in the
hot.
underwear. Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking? Where he's
Wait,
in the
oh,
briefs?
Yeah,
on
he's
the bed.
he's jacked.
Yeah, I thought that was it was like opening shot of the movie is
Yeah.
him like in his bed, like straddling the bed, basically in briefs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
And I was like, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested.
you've got me.
I was like, let's hear them out.
Let's hear them out.
I saw
Let
that
them
movie
cook.
in IMAX, which I think
Cool.
it really did feel like the tennis balls were like the
Yeah.
It was really a funny
I was
movie.
almost
That's
to see.
the
afraid.
number one thing that you always say about that movie is that you liked the experience of being a tennis ball.
I mean, it
Like,
was cool.
Because that one shot was so random. Like the fact
yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
were the tennis ball for one moment in the
Yeah, that's
movie.
so true.
The
whole
it really
movie was
stuck
kinda
in
like
there.
that.
It was-
It really
because
got in there.
Because it really broke with
Mhm.
the like visual language of the movie up until that point. All of a sudden you're a
Then
fucking
they were
tennis
like,
ball.
and then you are the tennis
and you're
ball.
getting batted around like a fucking
And
tennis
there's this
ball.
shot
It's
from
insane.
underneath the tennis court.
Yes.
And they had to build a clear tennis court for that one shot, and it literally lasts half a second.
Yeah.
It's so
But you
wild.
kind of like when someone who gets like access to funding is like, okay, I'm just gonna
Whatever,
do it.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
everybody's
that's
like,
good.
okay,
Yeah, yeah,
we'll do
yeah. And
it.
everyone
Like,
plays along.
You have
Wait,
the
but
budget.
what were you gonna say
La
about this other movie?
Chimera. I saw a trailer for this. He's in Italy, right?
Yes, he's in
Yeah.
Italy. He's so hot in it.
Oh,
And
it
but there's
gay?
a scene where he
Okay. But okay, gay
no.
culture.
Yes, but he
Being
cuts at one
in
point.
Italy, yeah.
Like he basically has to like kind of clean himself up, and he cuts his own hair. And I had this reaction to it where I was like, oh my god. And I don't normally talk this way, but I was like, as a man, and I don't normally talk that way. Like, I have to know how to cut my own hair. It felt like
Yeah,
one of those skills
interesting.
where I was like, I can't believe I can't do this.
Uh-huh,
Like, I'm going
uh-huh.
to another like guy
You're
to cut my
saying
hair.
the real men are cutting their own hair.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
And they're
Something
doing it just
sexy
without even
about it.
thinking.
They're just doing it, right?
Mhm.
Exactly.
I do kind of think that getting a haircut is a woman's behavior.
It's woman's
I
behavior.
do understand
Yeah.
it.
You know what I mean?
Maybe that's why we have the
Abstractly, I
barbershop
understand
as
what
an
you're saying.
institution.
Right.
They had to like make this
They're,
hyper
compensating-
masculine.
they're
They had to
compensating
butcher
for
it.
sure.
There's
right.
something so nice about it, though. Imagine getting
Oh,
your
rules.
your face like
Shaved.
shaved
Oh,
with like
totally.
the hot.
And they have to do
Totally.
it with
Ooh, that's
knives so
sexy.
that they all feel
Right.
masculine.
I know.
Yes.
It's well, they get it so
It's like,
tight.
well, I can't do this at home.
And it's so tender,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like,
So gay.
well, I'm glad they have that.
Yeah.
I'm glad they have like male touch
Yeah.
and like
Male touch.
community with that. Like,
When
I don't want to take that away from
when
them.
I had like a bowl cut
Mhm.
that like was buzzed, I would go to like a very masculine barbershop
Mhm.
just because I
Really?
was kind of like,
That's so you.
yeah, totally. You're like,
What did they think about you? What did they
What about
say
that?
to you?
I mean, it was such a crazy time in my life.
They were just like crazy white girl.
yeah.
Gosh, you guys, I really have had the inclination to make a website called ilovemyfriendsfeet.com, but I don't really know how to do that. What would help me? What would help me make my dreams come true?
I think you could make a really good website with a company that sponsors this podcast, actually. They're called Squarespace.
Tell me more, Katie. What is it like?
Squarespace just helps you build websites, and it does a lot of the confusing back-end work so that your website can have all the tools that you want it to have.
Yeah, I really want to do a catalog of all my friends' feet. Could that help me?
You can include, I don't know if the catalog could help you, but I know that Squarespace could make it so that the catalog appears
Yeah, I'm confused.
On
Like
the
you want to
website.
sell a catalog on their website
I
store?
want them to be able to design it so it's a catalog of all my
Uploading
friends' feet.
So
images.
you want like a photo album.
And then I would love if they could maybe even help me do merch.
Make a
Do
store.
they do that?
They could do that.
They could do that.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is so useful. I love that about Squarespace.
Here's what I'll say. I went to a middle school called High Tech Middle School, right? They were teaching me how to do a bunch of crazy, frankly, BS about building websites on Macromedia Dreamweaver. Guess what's
picture
now
your-
completely irrelevant? That. Been made completely obsolete by the existence of Squarespace.
Well, that is
So
so great.
congratulations. I would have loved to have Squarespace in middle school when I had to build websites for my projects. I did not like doing it. Squarespace is much better. My websites were horrible.
So if you're like me and want to create a new website called myfriendsfeet.com, check out squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to www.squarespace.com.
/Gayotic.
to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Go check out my new website, myfriendsfeet.com.
Or don't, because that probably is a website. And don't download anything.
There is something kind of nice about like, obviously in the moment it's so scary, but when you're like told you're gay, basically, like
Yeah,
when
as a
you're like
child.
obviously gay and like everybody around you is like, you're gay.
yeah.
And you're like, okay, like, got it. Like, thank you. Loud and clear.
By the way, is that what your experience
Kind
was?
of, yeah. Like, I came out pretty early. I was like 14.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, let's do it.
I do have a tweet of yours pulled up that I'd like to discuss. And
Sure,
for this
sure.
moment,
They
it says,
sent a carousel.
it
Yeah.
says, I'm gay. Not everyone can say that. Which is true.
That's so funny.
And it's really
Damn,
funny
like,
and
that's
good.
hilarious. Good for me.
I have those moments every once in a while.
Yeah.
Actually, like
I really do feel that way sometimes. I'm like, I'm gay and other people aren't.
there was a time that we were like
That's cool.
opening for like a bigger artist
Mhm.
that's like more mainstream than we, and I was just like,
Right.
She is
I was
straight.
like, I really am gay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
definitely.
I am in an alternative community.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a gay affirming experience.
You walk around thinking you live in LA or New York City.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm normal and
Right.
everyone is gay
Everyone
like
is
me.
just like
if
this.
not gayer than me.
Right,
and,
right.
and more
I'm
alternative.
actually like I'm actually straight. At
I'm-
this
yeah,
point.
at this point,
Basically,
relative
comparatively,
Yeah.
Where given where things have gone, I'm actually straight and normative.
Right,
and
right.
then you are in a very heterosexual environment around authentically straight people.
Right.
And you
Who are living their authentic straight lives.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Which is because I don't really believe when people are like everyone's a little bit gay. I'm like, no, they're not.
Right,
I've met
right.
plenty of just fully
I would
straight
hope
people.
that they were. I hope all these dudes are sucking each other off.
Right.
You
it does
hope-
happen.
Of course.
It
Yeah.
happens sometimes for sure, but
Yeah.
not always.
I
Yeah.
think some people
That's
really
disappointing
are
to me.
straight.
If you're not like, to me, gay is like, it's such a social label too.
Yeah, it
so It's like,
is.
you
It
can
is.
suck- it's like, oh, that person's secretly gay. It's like, but it's like they're not gay. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like you're not doing like the social public part
no
of it.
kiki.
Right. I don't know. It's
That's
it's,
interesting.
Do you know what I'm saying a little
Yeah,
bit?
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
if you're shying, you're either a coward or you're not.
I also
if you're
remember like
straight, you can be a coward.
transitioning from like being like, oh, it's like a burden to be gay.
Yeah.
Like in high school, especially when I was like, I wanted like a romantic and sexual life so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and I'm never gonna get it, whatever. And then I like did get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, thank
Congrats.
fucking God.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, totally.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad. And actually, it's funny because sometimes my family, so supportive and loving, will still like talk to me in this way where they're like, they think it's like a burden to be gay. And I'm like,
Like,
and I'm like, or I'll surprise them. I'm like, no offense. Like, thank God I'm not
Are
straight.
you the only
Yeah.
one? Are you the only one?
Randomly, yeah.
not everyone can say
Yeah.
that.
Not everyone can say that.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
like you guys. You know
Yeah,
what I
Like
mean?
when
Like,
you first came out when you were
Yeah.
younger, like was there another, like were there other out kids at your school?
Wait,
There
where
was-
did you grow up? And
I grew
what's-
up in New York City.
Okay, so wow.
Yeah.
City
Wow.
So I just
boy.
have been
Where?
there.
Yeah.
Where?
We're in New York, kind of all around
Docks.
Manhattan.
Cool.
So you were
Chinatown,
maybe
Soho.
seeing gay people. You were walking out on the street.
My downstairs neighbors, this
Chinatown,
apartment I lived
Soho,
in,
yeah.
in like Chinatown, Soho, with my mom, was like there were these 3 gay roommates.
It's giving What a Girl Wants, Amanda Bynes.
Yes.
Wow.
It
When
really
you
was
saw
like
that, were you like, that's me.
I actually think yes. I
That's
remember being like, that's
awesome.
kind of my lifestyle.
Wow, that's
they
amazing.
would have these big parties on Saturday night. And I remember not being able to sleep because it was so loud. And then the next day they would come and bring up chili, being like, sorry for the party. Like,
Yeah.
we made
Why,
chili.
why
I
chili?
don't know. That's just what they made. Like after, like as their kind of routine.
That
yeah.
is so interesting.
Yeah.
Good idea, though.
And then
But chili is such a random gift.
They batch froze it, and then every time they thawed.
right, exactly. They're like, this is our gift
bowl of it.
apology
Thawing the
chili.
block.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I would
That's
think
really
like
smart.
a cake, maybe some
Right.
baked goods.
No, that would be nice, but no,
Chili.
chili is actually kind of what you
Whatever.
want to receive more than a baked good. A baked
Because
good,
it takes care of dinner.
yes,
yeah.
it's like
Yes.
you know
That's
you don't
that.
want to be in a position where you have a cupcake but you're like needing dinner.
Yeah.
You're like, so I have to do all this work. Like,
yeah.
Mhm.
A
still?
baked good is a treat, but it's also a burden
It is
because you know
definitely.
Sometimes you don't want it to be you.
Yeah,
Well, if
because
you've had a baked good already.
every waking moment of you being in your house with a treat in the house, you know there's a treat in the house.
the loaded gun.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like
There's always treats
And there's
in my
labor
house,
that
to
one
be
must
honest.
do
Uh-huh.
to
in
get
order
to
to
the
get
treat.
to treat.
Yeah.
Or you just have treat and then you're like, well, I had treat.
I
I'm
had
kind
treat.
of having treat.
You are just living a lifestyle where you're having treat.
I mean, if I want the treat,
Yeah.
Right.
like,
Well,
yeah.
it does. Right. Of course, there's all this stuff of that.
Treat.
That-
Exactly. No, exactly. I was gonna like talk about like body stuff, but I actually am gonna like.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
but I
Yeah.
wanted to ask,
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, so when you came out, was it a thing of like other people? Was it kind of like in my school? I had a couple friends in theater
Mhm.
who like it was the vibe where like other people were kind of
like
letting
gay.
them know
Yeah, I mean, definitely it was that.
at
Like,
slur.
nobody was hostile like that. It was more like,
You
and
were
I
in the
don't.
city.
Yeah, just like I remember people being like, well, "You're probably gay." Like even when I was like younger than that, and then
Totally.
actually I auditioned for Cabaret, which we did when I was in ninth grade.
The gayest thing you can actually
Cool.
ever do.
What part did you want?
So, well, what part did I want? Probably MC.
Yeah.
Didn't get that one. No
Would've been
problem.
great.
I was one of the Kit Kat boys, and they were like,
Cute.
Fun.
before the casting came out, they were like, "Hey," the director, student director, and student assistant director were like, came up to me in the hallway and were like, "Hey, so we want to give you the part of Bobby, which is one of the Kit Kat boys, but he has a gay kiss. Like, are you okay with that?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." And then I think I kind of was talking about how like I had a crush on like one of the guys, like one of the older guys in the
You're
show.
like, so if you
and-
could cast him.
yeah, exactly. And they were like, "Okay, ha, ha." I'm like, yes, ha, ha." And then that's like kind of
Wait,
how I
did
came
they?
out. No, they cast like this other guy.
Of course.
But then the really hot guy was the MC. Respect. Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
hot.
that is so like it gives me a lot of insight because my high school,
Mhm.
I feel like we're growing up
Mhm.
like at the same time.
Totally.
My high school in the suburbs of Chicago, like I don't know if they ever did any plays that had like gay.
Yeah.
Your school system would have been outraged, I feel like.
It
Really?
just
Like
would
at
have
the
been a
time.
bigger deal.
Really.
Yeah.
It just
I feel like
And
everyone
it was
would've-
like people were saying like fag and stuff, like derisively, not in like a fun kind of way.
Or I mean that was more like honesty box hatred.
Yeah,
It wasn't
totally.
like people were so confident with it.
right.
No, because
Um,
everyone came from like a nice, good family.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Totally.
yeah, that makes sense.
But there
Yeah.
there weren't really
One thing that was
opportunities.
interesting that I've noticed in my high school is like I was one of like 2 out gay people in my class of like 200, and then like 2 years below me there were like 400.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
That
like-
happened to me
wild.
too.
It like
It's just
shifted
real.
so fast, like honestly because of Glee, basically.
Yeah, the Glee made the kids
See,
Yeah.
gay.
that's interesting to see that as the cultural moment. This
Mm-hmm.
is going to be so annoying because our fans are obsessed with telling us that we like Glee.
I've
sorry.
never actually
fucking
love
seen
that.
Glee.
Yeah.
I love that they think we're gleeks. I
I've
kind of love
never
that that's what we're
fucking seen
giving.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it a little bit. We used to hang out with somebody in the most random way from Glee.
Yeah. I watched
Who is
it.
the
You watched
most
it.
random
Yeah.
person of
I
all
didn't like
time.
watch it religiously, but
Right.
if it was on after school.
So I
Yeah,
want to talk to you guys
definitely.
fans. They're not gleeks. Like
Thank
you.
you.
Don't you can call me a gleek if that makes you feel
Are
better.
you a gleek?
Are
but-
you a Glee?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I didn't watch all of it, but like
that
I
explains
watched
the
first, like,
acapella
Yeah,
at Yale.
definitely.
That's
I
cute.
mean,
That is interesting because
Yeah.
they were sucking and fucking on that show for sure.
Yeah,
Yes,
that show is
definitely.
like mega sex.
And I also think it was funny. Sorry, like
Yeah.
I'm like I just like it.
And the music was really good.
Yes. I thought some of those singers were incredible.
All I remember is
Naya
someone.
Rivera.
I know, R.I.P.
I know.
It's actually like
It really is tragic.
that celebrity
So
death
fucked up.
devastated me
fucked
more
up.
than any other.
It's really sad.
It
So
was
sad.
She was saving.
really
Wasn't
brutal.
she saving her kid?
Yeah.
Well, also she was
it's the
missing for a
worst.
while.
Yeah. So we
Oh.
were
She
like,
was-
maybe
I know.
we should actually move on.
Fucking horrible.
I have to say, I cannot believe like how well your drink. I
we
don't
already
know what you're
discussed this,
drinking.
actually.
And I'll
Of
explain.
course
We can
you
do it
did
again.
because it's
I
stunning.
saw
I
it.
know.
I saw it, and I thought,
And
watch.
Josette, your water bottle, like this is
Wow.
a stunning. I really feel bad for anyone who's just listening to this.
Right.
It's a great color for you
Because it's like this color is kind of fun, and basically I'm drinking. I'll explain. A horchata with 2 shots of espresso, and when I ordered it, they were like, "It's gonna be blue,"
Why?
and I was like,
Why
"Oh,
the fuck is it blue?
I don't know." The woman at Guisado's,
Mhm.
which is a taco place in LA.
That's where you got the
Yes.
ceviche.
Yes,
Nice.
which I had ceviche for breakfast,
Yeah.
hot off the press.
That is so interesting.
Yeah,
I
and I
think it's
loved
cool.
it. And
I think it's
actually, with
cool
eating it,
move.
I was like, "This is the only breakfast that's made sense to me."
I kind of
Sometimes you have to
understand.
follow
It
your
makes sense,
heart.
especially for the summer.
It wakes up
Totally.
your palate.
Yeah.
It's
Totally.
like acidic.
You want like citrus or something? It's fresh.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
Eggs? No. Cereal? No.
Yeah.
I
Ceviche?
asked him
I'm
if I
listening.
smelled like fish when I hugged him because
you
I
also
had
had
salmon.
lox.
Yeah.
This morning?
Yeah.
And what did you
What,
guys
like
have for
lox?
breakfast?
Lox, yeah.
I had the most random breakfast of all time.
Let's hear it.
I don't
You
even.
wild
We might need to
girl.
cut this
Yeah.
out.
You're so
Really?
wild and crazy.
I was running so late, so I just had a glass of kefir.
Kefir, yes.
Why would you cut that out?
Because it's
It's
so
it's
weird.
basically yogurt.
I just
I
had a
know about
glass
that.
of
Oh.
yogurt,
Sorry.
and then I drank.
I thought it was kefir.
It's. I've heard it both
I
ways.
thought it was kefir too.
I've
but
heard
I
it
don't
both
know.
ways.
I've heard it both ways.
At this point now, I've heard
Whatever,
it both ways.
whatever. But and then I just had like a big old handful of pecans. I guess it's not that weird, but it's not like what I want.
No, totally.
Yeah,
That's
I mean-
emergency food. Sometimes you just
Yeah.
have to have.
No.
But when you're
emergency.
eating handfuls of anything to fill up, it's like
Yeah.
you're not in an ideal spot.
No, I wasn't. I woke up late.
I do also have emergency nuts in my house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Needed.
actually have so many, like
Oh.
nuts and beans are the
Right.
things that I stock up.
Yeah. You need it. You need
Yeah.
it.
What? Oh God.
I just like know the feeling of like trying to fall asleep but being too hungry and like
Awful.
being like maybe I can do it, maybe I can, and then at a certain point getting up out of bed like huffing, me like fucking fine, like I'll figure something out. and then
Emergency
like
nuts.
like eating like dry almonds in my dark kitchen.
It's not
that is
nice.
sad.
It's like it just sucks. I'm like, this blows. Like I don't want to be doing this. Like I want to be able to go to sleep. Like this is annoying and it sucks.
That's
the sadness.
It really does.
That's like
fucking suck.
Wait,
tour.
I don't know if I've ever gotten up out of bed
I've
because
done
I was
that.
too hungry to go
Tour
to
is
sleep.
the only time I've ever really done that because it's like you don't want to eat too much after a show, but because we go to bed so soon, and then after you're like,
I gotta
need
do
a snack.
something.
Yeah, it has to do with like for me when that
True.
happens, and it kind of does happen. It happens every once in a while, but it has to do with like dysregulated
Yeah. It's like a
meal
dysregulated
schedule or
rhythm.
Yeah.
something. Like
Yeah.
or traveling.
yeah,
It is
something.
often
you just
like-
get fucked up.
You have a show at 7:30
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
afterwards you're like, oh, you have a little bit. It's not quite enough.
You guys, I love having little babies,
Me too.
but sometimes I don't like the way their poo poo pee pee smells.
Yeah,
So
one thing.
I have an issue with poo poo pee pee, but
yeah, okay. So one of the things. So I
I have
recently
a
got.
big problem with it.
You guys know. You guys know that I recently got a new kitty, which I'm very
Yeah.
excited about. So I am now living in a pretty small house with 2 cats, and obviously my greatest fear is that my house is gonna smell like cats and
Yeah.
cat litter.
Yeah.
It's one of the that's one of the hard things about having.
It's
Cats.
terrifying, and
They're
it-
the cutest animals in the world.
Yeah,
But they do
I have been
stink.
told by my friends that my
Or not.
house has not had the smell of cats or
You're right.
cat litter
It actually
How are you
hasn't.
doing that?
ever. And I think one of the main reasons is because I use this litter called Pretty Litter.
Wow.
It's really clean. It's like crystal based.
Mm.
They made it out of pure crystal gem. No, I'm just kidding. But it looks like crystals.
The rough skin.
And the other
crystals.
and yeah, so it's like really good at getting rid of odor.
Mm.
And it also has this benefit of like it will turn a certain color to alert you if your cat has a health problem that,
That
you
is
maybe
so
need to look out
helpful.
for, like a kidney infection or something like that.
Wow.
They do tend to have those things.
Yeah.
I don't
Kidney-
want them to, but
Kidney
No.
related. It's because they don't drink enough water.
Well, at least you have Pretty Litter
Yeah.
that can help you figure out how to help your cat when they can't talk to you. Unfortunately, they can't. I wonder what they would say. So,
Yeah.
Pretty Litter helps keep tabs on my cat's health and keeps odors down. You and your little kitty are going to love Pretty Litter as much as I do. Go to prettylitter.com/gayotic and use code GAYOTIC to save 20%. Oh my gosh, on your first order and get a free cat toy. I love cat toys. I love to play with them. That's prettylitter.com/gayotic. Code GAYOTIC. Save 20%. You heard me, 20%. And get a free cat toy. prettylitter.com/gayotic. Code GAYOTIC. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details.
You're like,
Do
I
you
don't
do
want
a tour with your? Do you tour with your podcast?
Yes. That's kind of why I'm here.
Because you're on
Okay.
the road.
Talk about it.
Although actually just like here.
Wait,
Like-
are you
yeah,
doing
here in
something
Los Angeles.
in LA?
Yeah, well, we did a show on Friday.
Fuck.
So you
Where?
guys
Where?
missed it big time. Dynasty.
Oh, cute.
Typewriter. It was awesome.
That
Dynasty's
sucks.
great.
that you missed it.
Yeah.
Or that we did it.
People are.
What? I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I have found a few people since being on your podcast. I've been people have people have reached out to me saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe you did this. I love them so much."
Oh,
I'm
Yeah,
really?
obsessed
people-
with them. Yeah,
Awesome.
People
People
love
are
deeply and truly.
obsessed.
Thank you. That's really awesome.
And I had a friend who went to one of your live shows and had never heard the podcast, but was like, I was in a room of people who
Mhm.
it was like a new culture for her, and she,
Yeah,
but she
yeah.
did love it.
That's okay. Fabulous.
How was the Dynasty show?
The Dynasty show was awesome.
Cool.
I loved it.
This makes me so sad.
I
I literally
know.
was texting people on Friday night. Like,
Yeah,
I
you-
tried to hang out. I was trying to hang with
Yeah.
people, and I was like,
Right
they
on.
came this close to going on. You
Yeah.
ever go on like timeout
Mhm.
LA? Just
Yeah.
to be like,
what is happening?
What should I do?
what's going on? What should I
what
do,
should
guys?
the hell should I be doing right now? You tell me.
Yeah.
Where do you need me?
And it's always
Yeah.
like hot
Where
dog
does
fest
culture-
in
Yeah,
downtown.
Hot Dog Fest, like if
like
you
they're
if you
doing a
asked me
chip.
that, maybe.
They're doing a chip competition.
Yeah.
See you there.
We see you there at the chip competition.
is the
Speaking of the
entrance
chip
free?
competition, by the way, I
Uh-huh.
ended up having to adopt my cat yesterday at an event called CatCon.
Wait,
People are
Sure.
obsessed
what
with
the
cat
fuck?
I went to Pasadena Humane, which is a shelter where you adopt animals. And I got there for my appointment. And the first thing the woman said to me was, she goes, "So have you heard of CatCon?" And I was like, no.
No,
Like
I
I'm
missed
not
that.
really like that.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
love that they do
I'm not
this
really
shit.
like that.
I'm
And
not
she
like
goes,
you.
she goes, so unfortunately, like pretty much 99% of our kittens today are at CatCon because
You need to go to a second location.
Where was
to
the
go to second
location? That the
location
Pasadena
and buy a
Convention Center?
ticket
Was it the
Wait, how much
convention
is it?
to
center?
the Pasadena
Shut
Convention
the fuck
Center.
up! They have a whole convention.
And then I
Oh
waited
my
in
God.
line like it was
Dude.
a ride for a roller coaster.
Uh-huh.
my
That's so. I love.
my
honestly,
girlfriend went
I'm
to this
so happy about
every
that.
year growing up.
Really?
I can't
What the
believe
fuck?
she did.
Yes.
Is her mom a cat person?
No,
or
her
something?
dad.
Oh,
Oh, a male cat person.
It's
also.
sweet though that they
Cute.
do that. They really do a lot of events to try to get the animals adopted.
yeah, and
It's
it was
awesome.
kind
It
of funny.
works.
Like it was a big group of people, and they would like ring a big bell every time an adoption happened,
Isn't
and everyone was
it,
cheering.
isn't it also where they're like, this is a perfect specimen of a cat, and someone's going kind of like this? Like
I think
stretching
that
them
I
out?
think that's more
That's
of a cat
competition
show.
yes.
Yeah.
County fair.
Yeah, I think this is more like
This
get
was-
your cat,
This
get your
actually
cat.
kind of felt like a mad dash.
Yeah,
Like,
really.
I really was super stressed. Also, all the cats are so overstimulated.
Oh my God, like-
they're knocked out. Like,
Oh
Right,
no,
they're like drugged up.
yeah,
like,
it was like their second day
Wait.
there. They're like,
they're fucked beyond.
wait.
they don't want it.
dude,
like,
they
it's-
don't want it. You have no idea what any of their
But then
personalities
how did you pick?
I said black, male, kitten.
Did you touch him
Boom.
or anything, or did you just be like that one?
What happened? I mean, I
He's-
just
he's really
went by
cute.
pure superstition because what had happened
What
with
is the
my
superstition?
first cat was like I had met a few cats, and then the woman was like, "Actually, there's this other cat that I think you should meet," and then that was Button,
But
and
Aw.
kind of the same thing happened.
Mhm.
Like we had met a few cats that were outside, and then she was like, "Actually, there's a cat that's in the like window." There was like one room that had like a window that people could look out, and she was like, "There's one cat in the window that maybe you should meet." And he was the only one that I was allowed to touch because that's what the rules
yeah,
were.
they don't. They don't. Well, it's because they don't want disease to be spread.
Of course, and respect.
Yeah, yeah. They do that also at the Pasadena Humane.
But I really truly was just like,
Yeah.
I'm leaving with a cat because this has been frankly too much faff, and I don't have another free day for quite some time. So I'm getting the cat today.
In a way,
Load her
it's so arbitrary.
Exactly.
You're never gonna know what the cat is really
No,
like.
it's true. It's
until
kind of
they're
funny that they have
gamble.
like legit personalities. Like
Yeah,
they
no,
are
they're
different.
freaks.
Yeah. Like the different cats really act different.
Yeah.
And you
they
get to know them,
do.
you're like, so you're weird. Like you
Yeah,
have this
yeah, yeah.
kind of specific stuff.
Cats are fucking the weirdest
I know,
animal of
it's so
all
strange.
time.
It's interesting that like certain
The
animals
fact
just
that we can't stay off cats.
there's
Yeah.
no
Cat, this is single cat lady.
Yeah.
Have you guys gotten like, I don't know if you I don't know what your mom is like, but my mom has been sending me a lot of text messages like single cat ladies like rise.
because JD Vance was like their cat
Yeah.
ladies, and everyone's like,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's their new
By the
pussy
way,
hat.
at
Yeah.
CatCon, like there was a
probably
lot
talking
of like
merch.
immediately
Yeah.
minted
I love
T-shirts
that.
Yeah.
that were like,
My,
You know what?
My mom's sending that to my brother in the group chat, even though my brother is in a relationship, but he's a cat man.
well,
He
he's
is.
technically single is unmarried, honey.
Okay, then he's single.
Yeah, and
Is
so
that-
are you, by
yeah,
the way.
I guess like on the set you would fill out
government, the
single,
government
like, on
would
the
government
consider
sees
you
me as
single.
single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, that's funny.
Rise up.
That's like if you're in a relationship but you're not married, the government's like, yeah, that's
Single.
lock it
That's
down
fake
or nothing.
fucking
Like,
fake. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking nothing. That could go away like this.
Yeah, fill out the
It's
pussy
true.
circle. Yeah.
That's funny.
That is crazy. It is funny how every opportunity the liberals have to meme, they kind of just
I love it.
they just do kind of the weirdest ones.
Yeah, people have access to like shirt making machines like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah,
you
Like,
would
and
not
so
believe.
fast.
and so fast. It's like they have
Yeah.
them ready to go overnight.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like we're a part of the problem in a way. We get, like it's like
Why, 'cause we
everybody
like something
'cause-
online?
Well, no, just because everyone has merch. Like
Yes.
everyone has merch
I
in
would say my
2024.
guest does not have merch.
Well,
Is that-
And
that
I would-
kinda is
and
crazy
I
to
need
me.
you to
Yeah.
get merch.
I know. And here's the thing. Natalie and I are so gifted in so many ways. And we are really not so logistically competent. And
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
you need a
graphic design.
company to help you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a manager?
yeah.
Tell them to get on it.
Yeah, you're
No,
right.
because
Like, you're
delegation.
Right. Yeah,
Because
that is the trick.
The bag is there, and people
Yeah,
would
you
people
would
go
make a
crazy.
bag.
People
At
would
least
just
little
want, but I'm like,
Little
ooh, but
hats?
I'm so like, my idea for it is I want to get a notebook and a pen.
Yeah,
as like merch.
people
Isn't that
would
kind
like
of
that.
cute
Yeah,
idea?
that
so
makes sense.
cute.
People
Yeah.
love that.
So
Intellectual.
if anybody wants to DM me and help me,
Yeah, yeah,
trying, but
yeah.
it's like I'm trying, and then that doesn't mean anything. Like
Yeah,
I'm not
sure,
actually
sure, sure.
trying.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I'll Google like customizable pen, and then it's like if I have to open 4 tabs, I'm like,
It's-
You should
I'm
definitely
You
have
do
your-
it on like Shutterfly.
You should definitely
Right,
have your
basically,
management
like,
figured
just
out
do it.
because then they could also optimize like what's the you.
Did you guys have your manager do it?
We have yeah.
Also,
Naomi
our-
Designs.
our
but
manager,
we
Megan-
try to figure out what the cheapest
Hey,
thing
hey,
is.
if you need help, let me know.
Wait, literally, yeah.
They send us, like,
cheapest
yeah, I'll
and
do
the
it.
options
They s-
because we need to know how to make the most money.
They send
to be honest.
it's like cheapest, but also like
Good quality.
We want to like
Cheapest for not
feel
awful.
them.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's like they'll send us like blanks for like 5 shirts, and we'll be like, well, that one's the cheapest one, and it's horrible. You
Right.
can tell.
Right, I
that
want something that feels
terrible.
good.
Yeah, you should.
Wait, did you make Muna that shirt? Did you graphic design that?
They've
Our
made them all.
our
honey.
label,
Which one?
our label helped us like come up. We like sent them a bunch of like inspo
Yeah,
things.
Yeah.
And then someone sent back a bunch of like different options. Originally, the way that it was formatted was like slightly different,
Mm-hmm. But it was
but
kind of your guys' concept.
Which one are you talking
It
about?
was
The
squares.
it was a joint thing. The guy at our labels, honestly,
he's really talented.
amazing.
With
Because
that.
that
love
one
him.
to me
Shout
is
out to
like
Nick.
instantly
It's iconic.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's
like-
like move over FedEx. Like
Yeah.
there's a new
Okay.
amazing
You know what you
logo.
could do?
Okay, so you have
You know what's really
taste.
good? You should
Yeah.
actually, if you're open to this and you don't want to do the effort, go on your podcast and put out a fan call for people to design
Totally.
stuff
But
to
then
send
I
you.
feel like we should pay them.
Yeah, then it gets
yeah,
complicated.
Yeah.
it could. But I mean, like, also people want their shit to be.
They
you
do,
know,
and we could shout them out.
Yeah.
we'll see. But see, already I'm like,
no.
Overwhelmed.
I'm actually shutting down.
You're shutting
Yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
I'm
then we're
like
done.
totally. I'm gonna do all of this.
You're
Yeah.
giving like my energy in this band, which is like Joe and Naomi are really good at logistics and business.
That's cool.
And I kind of just want to be like, woo.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have ideas.
I'm like, oh my god, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Thank you.
That was a Headgum podcast.